Imagine waking up to the roar of bulldozers carving up your private mountain retreat, only to realize your nosy HOA neighbors think they own it. That's exactly what hit me like a freight train one crisp morning in Ridgeview, Colorado. But instead of raging, I sipped my coffee and watched the farce unfold, knowing their community dream was about to crumble into a hilarious pit of their own greed. It started innocently enough in our so-called serene subdivision, where every lawn had to be manicured like a golf course and holiday lights were regulated by Pantone color codes. I'd bought my 40-acre slice of wilderness 6 years back, right on the edge of the HOA's turf. No covenants, no dues, just pure solitude with a cozy off-grid cabin. Folks whispered I was some reclusive weirdo hoarding the ridge for selfish reasons, but I kept quiet, observing how the HOA board, led by the queen bee herself, Harriet the Enforcer Klein, twisted rules like pretzels to control everything. Harriet was a sight. Plump cheeks flushed with perpetual indignation, her voice a nasal drone preaching community standards, while fining people for visible trash cans. "It's for the greater good," she'd coo at meetings, her beady eyes scanning for dissenters like a hawk on steroids. Then came the call from my pal at the county office. "Dude, Ridgeview HOA's got permits for 15 luxury cabins on your land. You cool with that?" I nearly spat out my Joe. Hiking up, I saw the invasion. Crews staking foundations, Harriet waddling around in her sensible loafers, barking orders. "This ridge needs development. We're bringing value to the neighborhood," she proclaimed to a hard hat guy, who shrugged and kept digging. I could have stormed in, deed in hand, but nah. Rumors had already painted me as the grumpy holdout blocking progress. So I played the long game, documenting every trespass with drone footage and timestamps, letting their arrogance build, literally. Months dragged on, the air thick with sawdust and Harriet's smug announcements in the HOA newsletter. Our visionary expansion ensures pristine views for all, responsibly, of course. She even hosted progress tours, strutting like a peacock, ignoring how her eco-friendly solar panels sat smack on my property line. Neighbors murmured, some siding with her because who wouldn't want vacation rentals boosting property values? But I caught her slip-ups. Forged easements, backdated minutes claiming unanimous board approval. "Harriet, isn't this pushing it?" one board member whispered at a barbecue. She shot back, "Nonsense, Bob. Trivial minds resist growth. We're stewards of order." Her hypocrisy was comedy gold, preaching ethics while embezzling HOA funds for contractors, all while her chubby fingers signed off on unpermitted septic tanks that had poisoned the groundwater. The tension simmered until the ribbon-cutting gala. Harriet, in her ill-fitting blazer straining at the seams, beamed for the local news cam, "Welcome to Summit Bliss Villas, a testament to community unity." That's when I sauntered up, folder tucked under my arm. "Nice speech, Harriet, but you built this empire on my dirt." Her face twisted into a cartoonish scowl, sweat beading despite the cool breeze. "Absurd. We acquired this fairly. Board voted," she sputtered, voice cracking like a bad radio signal. I flipped open the docs. Certified deed, surveys, the works. "Acquired? You mean assumed no one would check your fake LLC?" The crowd gasped. The cameraman zoomed in on her quivering jowls. "This is slander. We're enhancing the area," she yelped, but her eyes screamed panic. Chaos erupted as sheriff's cars rolled in. I'd tipped the county weeks prior about permit fraud. Deputies cuffed Harriet mid-rant. "Ma'am, step aside. We've got embezzlement, trespass, and environmental violations," she wailed. "It's a mix-up, for the community's sake." But the DA dug deeper. $300,000 siphoned from reserves, illegal tanks leaking nitrates, even retaliation leans on dissenters. Harriet's empire crumbled in court. She and her hubby plea dealt to fraud charges. Banned from boards forever. Assets liquidated. The HOA dissolved into a chill neighborhood co-op, focused on potlucks, not power trips. I reclaimed the ridge, donating chunks to a land trust, watching wildflowers reclaim the scars. Was it wrong to let them dig their own grave, or pure justice watching the tyrant topple?